I have heard that you are the designated Executive Director of the Natural Energy Laboratory of Hawaii Authority in Kona, and I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
Congratulations
Thank
to
you
you.
very much. Thank you.
So tell me, what happened? What does it mean?
Last week we went through a series of interviews. I think they had a nationwide search, and went through a series of interviews. And last week I made the week before I made a presentation to the board of directors, and I was offered the position at NELHA. And I was extremely excited. This is the executive director position, and I accepted the position. And so I will be starting there next Wednesday.
Wow, that's quick.
That's June 15th, I believe. And I'm just really looking forward to it. As you know, I was there for 6 months in 2005 as the interim executive director when they were switching, when the previous executive director left.
Yeah, they needed you then. I remember you came in to hold things together while they were trying to find somebody else.
Yeah, and I kind of fell in love with the place back then. I had never lived on a neighbor island before, and I was excited about the lifestyle there. Different feel, different atmosphere, and the project itself is really, it's kind of like almost a dream job for me. It's, I've had a long career in government, and, I've done strategic planning for the largest industry, the tourism industry. I was Seiji Naya's executive assistant for 6 years, which was very fulfilling. And then the last 6 years I've been the administrator at the Foreign Trade Zone, Hawaii Foreign Trade Zone. So this is very similar to the Foreign Trade Zone in that it's one of the few self-sufficient agencies. They get no support from state government in terms of monetary support, although I think NELHA has recently gotten some funding. But I think they're striving to be a self-sufficient agency. And, they have, I think, about 40 clients now. And the Foreign Trade Zone, we have a little bit more because we run a bigger operation in terms of small businesses. In our warehouse, we have about 250 there. So same kind of setup, similar staffs, similar goals in terms of economic development. I think it's the best economic development project at DBED. I'm familiar with them all, but I guess I shouldn't say best, but I think it has a lot of potential, the most potential of all the projects at DBED.
Tell the viewers what NELHA is. I remember it's 870 acres last time I looked.
Yeah.
And I from what you said, it sounds like 40 tenants on that acreage.
That's my understanding, right around there.
A lot of aquaculture, a lot of ocean-type businesses.
Nutraceuticals. They have the deep ocean seawater. They desalinate the deep ocean seawater. It's I guess the way my take on it is, it's probably one of the only what I would call green economic development projects that I know of in the world. That it's built on pristine, pulling up pristine ocean, deep sea water. They have a couple of pipes, one down 2,000 feet into the ocean, one down 3,000 feet into the ocean, and some smaller pipes that bring in surface seawater that's warmer. And the clients use that to blend that water to the right nutrient level, the right temperature that they need to do aquaculture, like Big Island abalone is there. Cyanotech is there growing the algae. Mira Pharmaceuticals, I think they have a lot of smaller clients that do they had a presentation the other day at the board, Hawaii Health, I think it was, shrimp. They make brood stock for shrimp and sell that all over the world, and they use the deep ocean seawater.
Yeah, which you can actually bottle.
Yeah, which is a fascinating project, I remember when they came to visit Seiji Naya, and we said, well, "You're going to do what?" We couldn't believe it, and it turned out that they did everything they said they were going to do, and I think they are one of the largest exporters of Hawaii right now. That's something that I track at the Foreign Trade Zone is Hawaii's exports. Yeah. And, they're up in the top 5 now, in terms of all our exports. So they've grown phenomenally, and I hope they can continue to grow.
This is an intersection for NELHA, for
yeah,
sure.
It is.
You have experience. You're coming back. You have a lot of experience with government and building bridges all around state government. It's very important.
Yeah.
So what do you see going forward for this agency?
Well, I think you're right. They're at a crossroads right now. Maybe they're at a time when they need to pivot a little bit and change the direction. Not a lot, but just maybe on that pivot foot a little bit. The government, both the state, county, and federal, have changed a lot. And NELHA needs additional resources to develop their infrastructure right now. The state government, money's hard to come by, especially capital improvement money. It's not like it was 10 years ago or 20 years ago when the state had a lot of money. And the federal government is probably even worse now. County government, I'm not that familiar with the county government, but I can assume money is tight. And so they need funds to repair some of the aging infrastructure there. Those pipelines that were put in, I think some of them were put in almost 20 years ago, and they need maintenance. At the same time, they need additional resources to build new infrastructure, to be able to develop the rest of the land that they have there. So to me, they have been going through a strategic master planning process for the last year or two, and I think that now is the time to take a look at that plan now that it was just finished recently, is my understanding, and develop an implementation plan for it and build what they really need right now is a really strong financial plan to bring all of those projects together and to move ahead. And so I think you're right. It is a real critical time for them.
Well, I know it's early in the game. You haven't even moved into your office yet, but I just wonder if you could give us a handle on what the challenges are that you think you might experience when you get there.
That's a good question. I think right now, one of the first things that I would like to focus on would be to build relationships. It's a big part of the County of Hawaii's economic development plan. I think it's important to work with the mayor and his people and the county council. I don't know them, so I need to get to know them and understand, what they see for a vision, for how NELHA plays a role in the economic development of West Hawaii. And then, working with the state legislators, I'm not that familiar with the legislators from the Big Island, so I need to get to know them. The board members, the staff, the tenants. I think for me, that's going to be a large part of my next couple of months, trying to meet everybody, get to understand what they see as a vision for NELHA, and try to bring it together. One thing that's really important right now is that, what I was talking about earlier with the financial plan, we need to have some of our budget numbers by late August.
And for the next session.
For the next session. So time is of the essence to put together a list of projects and try to come up with some kind of financial plan to make all sense of it and to put it in an overall comprehensive view that people can understand. I think that's another challenge right now. They got some other issues that I remember from before, like they need to subdivide some of the lands there before they can lease it out, and potable water is a big issue. I think that, to me, that's kind of a critical, linchpin issue that needs to be addressed, and I think that's where we could work closely with the county.
Yeah.
I think the Department of Transportation is making some improvements to the road there. I think there's some issues that need to be worked out there. I think the tenants and clients that NELHA has are really interested to see that be resolved. The intersection on the main highway there, they want to be able to make left-hand turns out of NELHA as well as left-hand turns into NELHA.
That's an important issue.
And that's an important issue.
Yeah.
Those are the main ones that I know about right now. But I'm excited, like I said, to get there. I do think that it has huge potential. And, from what I remember from before, I think most of the staff is there. I'm looking forward to and excited to work with the staff there.
Well, congratulations to you, Greg.
Yeah.
When you get there, look up Denny Kaufman, the chair of the House Energy Committee.
Okay, I will do that.
And remember that NELHA's middle name is Energy.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I think they got a huge potential. Renewable energy, everybody's focusing on it. I think it'll be a big, strong point for them.
So you're moving.
Yes. Looks like I just found a place that I'll rent temporarily, and I'll be moving over there on Monday. That quick.
Oh, that's great.
And I look forward to it.
It must be a very exciting time for you.
It is. I'm really thrilled.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Hey,
again,
thank
Greg.
you. Thank you.